Hey man, if people want to say yes, chef, I'm not gonna stop you. I'm one person that probably lives very far away from you, so it's cool, I guess. Very, very outer body, but it's cool. Hi, I'm Ayo Edebiri, and this is On the Rise. I don't really know if there's an age that I realized I was talented. I'm a very, hardworking, sort of anxious person. That energy has sort of been happening from jump. I just come from a family of very hardworking, very determined people. No matter what I was gonna end up doing, there's kind of like no choice but to try my best and try to do things well. If anybody's like Nigerian or Bayesian, you will understand that sentiment. I was always a part of after-school programs, musical theater, improv. I played multiple band instruments that no one needs to look into. Once I was in college, I've been doing comedy for a while. I've been doing improv, but I had started to understand that it was an actual career where there were avenues where you could make rent money and have insurance. Once I started meeting especially women of color who had had careers and different types of careers within entertainment, I started to see it as an avenue I could go down. I saw True Grit in theaters with my dad, with Haley Steinfeld, who was in Dickinson, which I wrote for and was in a few episodes of. And I saw that movie and I was like, I can do that. That's me on screen. I remember saying that to my dad after the movie. He was like, no, that's not you. And I don't know if you can do that. But I think seeing that movie and seeing a young person just give a performance like that, I was like, whoa, this is cool. It was great getting to work with Haley. It felt like a real masterclass because she's just had so much experience and so many different types of experiences. She was so talented and is a great person. It feels like such a cheesy thing to say. Yes, I got to work with the celebrity, and actually she's very wonderful and very talented, but it's true. In college, I had been reading for a lot of friends' plays, and I really enjoyed that. When I had started doing writing professionally and I was working in writers' rooms, I had started again doing table reads, and I was having a good time. I felt like maybe I could do this. I had representation for writing, and so I had said, I think I want to do this acting thing too, and they were like, okay, well, cool, so do a million other people. Maybe take some acting classes, we'll send you some tapes and we'll see how things shake out. My school put on a production of The Wizard of Oz, and I was cast in the role of one of the melting witches. So because we didn't really have, technology, because we were a Catholic school in Boston, the way when the witch melts, there was gonna be, the girl was cast as the Wicked Witch, she was gonna start melting, then there would be a slightly smaller girl who would start melting, and then there would be the smallest girl who would melt, and I was gonna be the last girl. And I was like, here we go, this is my starring role. I was practicing my screams, I was screaming I'm melting in the car, I was ready to do it as any serious actress would. I needed to do more research, so hit the Blockbuster with my mom, and we got a VHS of The Wizard of Oz that had behind the scenes footage. And in order to pull off that effect, they used a trap door. And so I got it stuck in my head, even though Mrs. McCourt clearly had outlined the plan, you know what I mean? Big girl, middle girl, small girl. I had got it stuck in my head that there was gonna be a trap door suddenly in our very old historical Catholic school in Boston, and that I was gonna get stuck in the trap door. And I had started crying about it. And then Mrs. McCourt was like, fine, you could be the coroner. It's very exciting that people have been responding to The Bear. There's just so much stuff available to watch, especially on streaming, so you never know if people are actually gonna watch things or not. I'm so blown away by Chris and Joanna and the writer's room and our crew, who are just all geniuses, and the cast, obviously. Such a wonderful, really special, lovely, kind group of people. Even though it's quite stressful to watch, it was a pretty stress-free experience for me personally. So the kitchen in the pilot, that is an actual restaurant kitchen, and then for the next 7 episodes of the show, the production designers created a working kitchen that was built in a soundstage that looked exactly like the kitchen that we were in, down to the water stains. I still don't understand how they did it. All the fire was real, all the plumbing was real, all that. Everything that we are cooking in the show, we were cooking in real life. And we got in trouble a few times for eating in between takes, because they'd be like, these are props. These are props. We know that this is food that looks good and smells good and whatever, but you guys can't be eating chicken piccata in between the takes. We will have to use this for the next shot. Please get it together. Chicken was good, yeah. You can tell I haven't really had proper lunch yet.
Yeah, Peter, are you good?
Yes, chef.
Yes?
Yes, chef.
Thank you, chef.
A whoa moment just might be that my dad is watching the show. My dad's a very tired man. He doesn't suffer fools and he doesn't really watch much except for sports. He came to the premiere and they showed the first 2 episodes and he was like, I think this is actually pretty good. I might watch this. And my mom was like, your dad is actually watching it. So yeah, to get my father to like leave cable TV and even log into a Hulu account. I mean, it's mine, but you know what I mean? It feels pretty big. My mom is somebody who's inspired me a lot. She came to this country when she was 17 and wasn't necessarily living her dream, you know what I mean? Both she and my father, I think, were working very hard for our family and they did that so that I could then pursue my dream. Now I'm an adult and now they're starting to do things that they really enjoy and are passionate about. And so those 2 are definitely role models for me. She's also my friend, but I think Quinta Brunson is definitely somebody who's a role model for me. I'm just like really in awe of her hustle and her work ethic and the fact that she's somebody who I feel like really does try to make space for people, open doors for people. Janelle James, who's also on Avid, one of my first writer's assistant jobs, she was a staff writer on. It's just really cool to like also see her be like an Emmy-nominated superstar right now. I loved watching Whoopi Goldberg growing up. I don't know, who are other role models of mine? I feel like they just become like older white character actors. Hey man, I love me some John Turturro, love me some Stanley Tucci, David Hyde Pierce, that's a legend. That's a legend to me. If I wasn't acting, I would have teached for a few years. I was getting my teaching degree before I changed my major. When you do your teaching certification, you have to do like every single age group, and teaching like children was so wild. There was one kid, I can't remember what I was like explaining, it was like photosynthesis or something, and he was like, I don't know what you're saying. Like, you're saying it, but why? And I was like, I have no good reason. I have no good reason. Somebody told me, and now I'm giving you this information. The idea where I'm like, oh, I have to mold a young mind, you know, like, not me. No. You don't want me doing that? No. I thought for a while I was gonna be a doctor, which is so crazy to even think about. I fell under the Grey's Anatomy spell that we all did. Somebody asked me the other day about like, just like a simple math equation, and I couldn't even make it to the equal sign. You know what I mean? It was rough. So for me to have the hubris to be like, absolutely, I could finish and get good grades in math and science courses and then become a doctor, it's a little ridiculous. My first celebrity crush, loved Lee Thompson of the famous Jet Jackson, loved Larry the Cucumber, just being honest. I mean, Chad Michael Murray, deeply imprinted. Leonardo DiCaprio, I mean, that's like an obvious one. Having very weird specific memories of watching Titanic with my mom now, being like, Then there was this like girl Fatima, she used to work at this Dunkin' Donuts that I would get a donut at, and I was like, we can make this work. I was like 7. Hey, life happens. The platform. I don't really know if I have a platform. I don't know if I deserve one. I don't know if anybody does. It is good. I know that it's good. Earlier I said some role models and it's like how many of them are actually like darker skinned black women. I feel like growing up, especially on TV, I don't really have a lot of that. Also, you know, people who are just like, they're a bit strange, they're a bit like flawed. I was not cool. I played the oboe, you know what I mean? I had to like seek out people who were black and weird. That's like, feels so humiliating to be like, I have a platform of being an absolute freak. But hey, I mean, you know, I feel like that was something that I could have used when I was younger, and it does feel cool to be a part of a moment, I think, I hope. There's like a lot of cool young black people who I think are just like being themselves, and so I feel like to be even adjacent to that might be a good thing. 5 years, I'll be 31. I would love to have a consistent exercise regimen. I would love to be more flexible. I have a, you know, tightness in my sort of hips that's happening as I'm getting older. I would love to figure that out. I love like a little yard situation for my dog. That's a reasonable goal. Now I have a dog and I'm like, my dreams are not for me, they're for my biological son, my dog. Yeah. He's like a Chihuahua Terrier mix. He looks like a little gremlin, and his ears are bigger than his head. He's absolutely manipulated my entire life, and that's fine, that's good. Vibing out to me means like paying my taxes and getting a decent return. Vibing out means calling my mother on a regular basis. Financial stability, that's vibing out. Working consistently and working with people who I respect and, you know, doing good work, challenging work. I think that is like more interesting maybe than like getting photographs taken of me while I'm like at dinner. I won't be too crazily ambitious. I'll mostly just dream for my own health and my dog to have sort of a place where he could, you know, have the zoomies in peace. I'm planning on focusing on my career. I'm thinking about it, but I feel like there's also been a decent amount of sort of vibing that's worked in my favor so far. So I just want to be able to keep working, vibe out.